Welcome to the Eagle Valley Model Railroad. Today we're going to be talking about me. Just want to give you guys a history on where the Eagle Valley Model Railroad came from, where it's at, and where it's headed. Before I was a teenager, I had a 4x8 sheet of plywood on sawhorses in my bedroom with a flyover layout. I had a couple of spurs on it, but it was mainly, in that time, in my age, was let's put some trains on it and let's run them as fast as we could and see what we could run over and if we could make them come off the track or not. Had some scenery, had some details, but nothing like some of you guys are doing. Absolutely awesome. We boxed that up. I got married, had a few kids. And when my son got around 7 or 8 years old, he asked about a train, and I was like, well, I've got a train, let's go get it. So we got it out. We made us probably a 5 by 7 foot piece of plywood, put some casters on it and rolled it up under his bed. Had a double loop so you could run from the outside loop to the inside loop. And pretty much the same concept. Just put some trains on it, run them, see how fast you could run them, and watch the trains go. Fun, had a great time with it. So fast forward to the present. My job at the power company that I work at has changed, and I'm now in operations. I work on an EMS system, and we can manipulate the power grid when there's cases of trouble or for maintenance, and I can actually operate equipment from where I'm sitting in my desk. So I'm in operations, so that's where my background is, not necessarily trains. So my knowledge base as far as actual prototypical railroads are concerned is lacking, but I'm more interested in the operations piece of it, and the way you guys do your DC and DCC layouts. It's absolutely awesome how and the way you do your operations parts. I'm striving to get there. What we have right now, those same Lifelike box sets that I had and me and my son run are the same DC trains we're running right now. We're eventually going to go to a DCC system. This layout is wired for DCC, and we're going to, nothing against you Union Pacific boys, but I'm from Middle Georgia. So Norfolk Southern, CSX, Southern Railroad, Savannah, Atlanta. Those are the style we're going for. Not necessarily going for a particular time, not really going for a particular place, more of a region type thing. With the Eagle Valley logo, which I'm getting a custom logo and it's coming soon, would love to see an Eagle Valley engine and some Eagle Valley rolling stock. Thanks to Mr. Chuck Baker on the River Valley Railroad, when those guys, him and Mark, rolled out their rolling stock and their engines, it was the inspiration that got me wanting to do this. Their challenge was you have to be on YouTube, you have to have videos to be able to qualify for their giveaway. And I just thought it was cool to have a custom piece like that running on your layout. So I wanted one. So this is where we've come. So I credit where I'm at as far as my YouTube to Chuck and those guys. If you haven't subscribed to them, go check them out. So where we're at now. Right now we're sitting on an 8 foot by 8 foot table. I have a double main. The reason this layout is what it is today is I wanted to see where I was at in the hobby as far as model railroading goes. Again, operations and seeing you guys operate, that's where I want to go with this. So I didn't want to go too terribly big, but I didn't want to, I've already been on the 4x8s. Nothing wrong with the 4x8s, but I've already done that. So wanted to go somewhere else with it. So we've got an 8x8 double main. We do have 2 sets of switches where you can switch from inside main to outside main and vice versa. We have plans for 5 to 6 industries across the layout. That's changing every video I post, every question I ask, everything I see of you guys. That's changing. This thing has evolved and is going to continue to evolve. So this is what I'm asking for you guys. I need y'all's help. There are some things I've been doing, some how-to videos. I've recently called them how-I videos, because most of the stuff I'm doing is things y'all are doing. I'm just putting my own twist to it. And it may be verbatim what you're doing, but it's something that I feel like I've not necessarily improved on, but just something I do a little bit different, or just the way I do it. So my videos are called How I Videos. Those are going to continue to roll out as things go on. Something I do want to start doing is, because the YouTube channel is growing more than I ever thought it would at all. I'm going to commit to you guys a monthly update. It's amazing when you get down on the layout and you start messing with things and just doing little stuff, how much you do get done on your layout. Even just minor things. It's neat to see it come along. So I want you guys to watch that as well. So we're going to do at least a monthly update on where the layout's at. Some months there'll be huge changes. Some months there won't be so much. Also, something else I want to do with you guys is I'm going to commit to at least a weekly running session. Now, as we get more track and get more turnouts and get more industries, those running sessions are going to evolve into switching sessions. And we'll have them mixed in as far as running sessions or switching sessions to highlight some of the newer parts and just the layout itself. So I'd like to also do that for you guys too. And I need something from you. If you guys see something that I'm doing, because I'm running HO scale, I wouldn't say full out prototypical, but I do want it to look realistic. So with it being the Eagle Valley Model Railroad, I'm going to have mix and match equipment. The time frames that I'm running, there isn't such a time frame. If it looks good to me, I'm putting it on my layout. And industry-wise, it's probably the only thing that's going to make some kind of sense, just because different materials support different industries and so on and so forth with that. So that may be the only thing on my layout that actually makes any kind of sense. As far as running material and rolling stock, engines, it's all going to be whatever Ed feels like is going to look good on the Eagle Valley Model Railroad. A quick where Eagle Valley came from, it's a little bit of inspiration from my grandfather. He loved eagles. He was a part Native American, and the bald eagle was his symbol. And there's a lot of things that I own that are from him, and they're eagle based. So kind of a tribute to him in a sense. Plus it sounds cool, Eagle Valley. I mean, that's be somewhere I'd like to hang out. So that's basically where the Eagle Valley Model Railroad came from. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, put it together, and this is what you got. So, again, if you guys see something you think I could improve on, or not even necessarily improve on, if you see me headed a direction and you're like, man, he would love to be able to do this with his layout instead of this, shoot me a line. I don't mind changing things. I ripped up some cork over here, plan on ripping up some more cork, taking up some parts of the main, adding in new switches. This thing ain't even got started yet, nowhere near being finished yet, and we're already making changes. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time, I hope. And I want you guys to enjoy the ride. So, thanks again. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, happy modeling.